chapter 49, باب قول الله تعالى ولئن أذقناه رحمة منا من بعد ضراء مسته ليقولن هذا لي. Chapter, to say this wealth is the result of my labor and knowledge is against Tawheed. Again, which is something that was mentioned before, but here more benefits in this. When a person refers things to himself, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows ni'mah and bounties on him, he refers it to himself. Although he used to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before, when he was in need, he would make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him from his favors, he forgot about this and he referred it to himself. It's my smartness, it's my this and that made me rich, that made me that, and forget about the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this definitely negates the perfection of one's tawheed. The ayah وَلَئِنْ أَذَقْنَاهُ رَحْمَةً مِنَّا مِنْ بَعْدِ ضَرَّاءَ مَسَّتْهُ لَيَقُولَنَّ هَذَا لِي وَمَا أَظُنُّ السَّاعَةَ قَائِمَةً وَلَئِنْ رُجِعْتُ إِلَى رَبِّي إِنَّ لِي عِنْدَهُ لَلْحُسْنَى فَلَنُنَبِّئَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِمَا عَمِلُوا وَلَنُذِيقَنَّهُمْ مِنْ عَذَابٍ غَلِيظٍ. And truly, if we give him a taste of mercy from us, after some adversity has touched him, he is sure to say, this is for me, due to my merit. I think not that the hour will be established, but if I am brought back to my Lord, surely there will be for me the best wealth, and so on, with him. Then we verily will show to the disbelievers what they have done, and we shall make them taste a severe torment. قال مجاهد هذا بعملي وأنا محقوق به. Mujahid said that it means that it is the result of my labor. A person would say هذا لي when he says that this is for me, meaning this is my labor and I do deserve it. Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما said that it means what is with me. يريد من عندي, from his own self. He's the one that brought all these goodness to himself and denying it that it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And the statement of Allah, قال إنما أوتيته على علم عندي. Qarun, when he said, this has been given to me only because of knowledge I possess. So whoever do that, his leader is Qarun in this. From the tribe of Musa alayhi salam, as we know the story at the end of Surah Al-Qasas, when he was so rich and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him so much wealth that the strong man won't be able to carry the keys of his treasures. And as a result of that, he was arrogant and he said, this is from my knowledge, this is from my work, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed him. And this is definitely a good lessons to be learned from such verses in the Quran. So Qatada rahimahullah said in explanation of this verse, this wealth was given to me because of my merit and experience in earning. Other scholars, they said, because of knowledge from Allah that I particularly deserved from him. So all of these statements is not permissible for the Muslim to say that it is my wealth in the sense that I earned it, I'm the one that deserves it. Even if he doesn't mean the bad thing, it also is opposite to the perfection of one's tawheed, because all favors have to be referred to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You earned it, yes, versus other people, as we said. But in reality, it's all owned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the bestower of all things. We have to be careful, because sometimes we only see that in front of the Muslims. We say, inshallah, this and that in front of the Muslims. But when we're dealing with the non-Muslims, we don't say these things. Why is that? That's a deficiency. If you say, inshallah, they won't understand, right? But say, if Allah wills, if the Creator wills, right? This is something that has to be done. We should not change our way of speaking because of the different states that we are in. So the same thing. You're talking to someone, and you're saying, I earned this, I did this. It's good to say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed his favor unto me, that I earned this, that he gave me this, right? And this is by itself the best da'wah that a person can do to others. Or even as it's mentioned here, that he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to me because I deserve it. We don't deserve nothing, right? So we need to be humble to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we committed a sin in our life, that means we deserve to be punished, right? A person doing good deeds for his own self. But to say that he deserves that from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is bad mannerism. That a person should humble himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So can we say if it's negative punishment, in case we can say that we deserve it?
Yeah.
But
positive, we say it's the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if something bad happens to us, we say we deserve it. We deserve that, so that what the healthy result of this is that you would repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we deserve it, so you ask Allah for forgiveness. But if you say the calamity happens, that's because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is elevating my level, that means we're praising ourselves, as if we are, mashallah, sinless. No, it's we need to repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's the good effect of it. And we do not know the unseen. It's either punishment or it's elevating one's level. But as the result of humbleness, a person always have to look into himself to ask Allah for forgiveness and so on. Good things, it's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and a person does not see that he deserves. No, it is the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Matters of the dunya, it's something that is given to the believers and to the disbelievers, and it is not a sign of goodness whatsoever. Right? No.
Well, like all the time saying we have worked hard for that, and we talk about ourselves, we have it.
Now, again, it refers to people towards one another, right? Because you have ownership. It's not like Islam denies the ownership of people. No, people have ownership, but with regards to one another. My ownership versus your ownership. You do not take my money because it's my money versus your money. But it's not your money in the sense that you forget about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The owner of all things is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the person should not be forgetful about that, so that he does not live in a boastful way and arrogance and so on. So this is the meaning in the heart that has to be present, and even something in the words to be said. It's not like everybody shares my money. No, it is my money versus other people's money. The next hadith, which is a long hadith, and it has so much benefit in it, and it refers to this subject, the issue of boastfulness and claiming things to be for ourselves. I'll read it inshallah in English, so that if we read it in Arabic and English it's going to take a while. Allah willed to test 3 from Bani Israel, who were a leper, a blind man, and a bald-headed man. So he sent them an angel who came to the leper and said, "What thing do you like most?" He replied, this is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the leper said, "Good color and good skin." This is what he wants. "For the people have a strong aversion to me." The angel touched him and his illness was cured, and he was given a good color and beautiful skin. The angel asked him, "What kind of property do you like best?" He replied, "Camels or cows." Ishaq, the narrator, is confused whether it's camels or cows meaning. So he, meaning the leper, was given a pregnant she-camel, and the angel said to him, "May Allah bless you in it." The angel then went to the bald-headed man. So as we hear the story here, which is an authentic hadith, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most Wise, sent these angels, or this angel, to give some of these favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to them as a test, so that people don't think that a person, when he gets something of wealth and good things in this life, that it's because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves that person necessarily. No, it's a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see how he's going to react with regarding to this wealth and so on. So the angel then went to the bald-headed man and said, "What thing do you like most?" He said, "I like good hair and wish to be cured of this disease, for the people feel repulsion for me." The angel touched him and his illness was cured, and he was given good hair. The angel asked him, "What kind of property do you like best?" He replied, "Cows or camels." The angel gave him a pregnant cow and said, "May Allah bless you in it." The angel went to the blind man and asked, "What thing do you like best?" He said, "I like that Allah may restore my eyesight to me, so that I may see the people." The angel touched his eyes and Allah gave him back his eyesight. The angel asked him, "What kind of property do you like best?" He replied, sheep, so he gave him a pregnant sheep. Afterwards, all the 3 pregnant animals gave birth to young ones and multiplied and brought forth so much that one of the 3 men had a herd of camels filling a valley, and one had a herd of cows filling a valley, and one had a flock of sheep filling a valley. So this was given to them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you ponder over the benefits, and again there's no time to go into details in this, it shows that when a person is afflicted by something, he wishes for this affliction to go away, which is fine. And at the same time, if a person doesn't have these afflictions, he should be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So after that, Then the angel, disguised in the shape and appearance of a leper, went to the leper and said, I am a poor man who has lost all means of livelihood, after the previous leper became rich and so on, while on a journey. So none will satisfy my need except Allah and then you. In the name of Him who has given you such nice color and beautiful skin and so much property, I ask you to give me a camel so that I may reach my destination. He's asking him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reminding him that He's the one that gave him this. Who gave you the wealth? It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The man replied, I have many obligations, so I cannot give you. Which many times we fall into the same statement. The angel said, I think I know you. Were you not a leper to whom the people had a strong aversion? Weren't you a poor man and then Allah gave you all this property? He replied, this is all wrong. I got this property through inheritance from my forefathers. This is the nature of the human beings, tend to be arrogant and transgressors as a result of being bestowed the ni'mah of Allah, unless the iman and the oneness of worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the heart. The angel said, if you are telling a lie, then let Allah make you as you were before. Then the angel, disguised in the shape and appearance of a bald man, went to the bald man and said to him the same as he told the first one. And he too answered the same as the first one did. The angel said, if you are telling a lie, then let Allah make you as you were before. The angel, disguised in the shape of a blind man, went to the blind man and said, I am a poor man and a traveler, whose means of livelihood have been exhausted while on a journey. I have nobody to help me except Allah, and after Him, you yourself. If I ask you in the name of Him who has given you back your eyesight, to give me a sheep, so that with its help I may complete my journey. The man said, no doubt I was blind, and Allah gave me back my eyesight. I was poor, and Allah made me rich. This is the part of the hadith here, that acknowledging the favors of Allah and humbling oneself. So take anything you wish from my property. By Allah, I will not stop you from taking anything you need of my property, which you may take for Allah's sake. The angel replied, keep your property with you. You, meaning 3 men, have been tested, and Allah is pleased with you and is angry with your 2 companions. This is reported by Imam al-Bukhari. This is, by the way, is not a fairy tale. This is something that happens in reality. Because the Prophet ﷺ does not speak from desires, he speaks from revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a beautiful story, and the stories, al-Qasas, are soldiers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Soldiers that affects us, and it should affect us, right? And this is why the stories are mentioned. The true stories only, not the made lies and stories and things like that. The true stories in the Quran and the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and we see the benefit of it. And all of us, some way or the other, fall into these categories of what is mentioned in Hadith. When a person was born, does he own anything? Does not have anything, right? It's not like you are poor when you're 30 years old and then you became rich. Not necessarily like that. Even if a person is born as a son of a king, right? He doesn't have anything when he was born. He was nothing before he was born, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that bestowed His bounty on him. And He's the one that raised him, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and provided for him the love and the care from the parents and so on and so forth. And then the person grow up and he has nothing. Who is the one that bestows everything for him? Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then how can a person then be denial and fall into this transgression? Instead, he should perfect his tawheed by making sure that everything is referred to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then the wealth, the goodness in his life has to be referred back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and recognize that this is the bounty of Allah, and as a result a person would humble himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise he's followers of Qarun and followers of these people, those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punished them. So this is definitely a very beautiful means for us to understand, and then it shows also that a benefit that Allah tests the human beings. We are tested, right? Not just them, it's them that we get to know it from the Prophet ﷺ. But each and every one of us is tested, and this is by itself, it's an honor that a Muslim would see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing the person so that he will be steadfast on the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that it's okay to mention these types of stories as long as it's authentic, and to be warned from those who lie with regarding to stories. We have enough authentic stories in the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. We don't need to make up stories to work on the emotions of people. No, we can just stay in the truthfulness, and that's the best of the stories, of course. And also it mentioned in the story, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then you. So it's permissibility to say then, not and, which is mentioned in the hadith. Because of the time, inshallah, we'll stop at this point. And after Maghrib, inshallah, we have only 17 chapters to go, inshallah. So inshallah, we'll finish after, continue after Maghrib, inshallah. If you have any questions in the next 5 minutes.